ghostly business nevertheless in our new sitcom, So Haunt Me.
For the last time, Sally, there are no such things as ghosts, especially not Jewish ones.
No, Pete. Especially not called Jetta Feldman.
Especially not called Jetta Feldman. Good night, Sally.
Good night, Pete.
Good night, Sally.
Good night, Mrs. Feldman.
Morning, cruel world. Sally, there's a positive, rational explanation for what happened last night.
Pete, your son and I both saw her.
Mass hysteria. Old houses save up vibrations from the past and people pick them up. That's like viruses. Actually, I think I might be coming down with something myself.
No, not the hypochondria.
If you get some pills, I might not be a hypochondriac.
Now, come on, we've got to lick our new home into shape.
Blah! And listen, no more ghost talk in front of Tammy. She's at a very sensitive age.
Spoken by the world's longest-running 39-year-old.
I'll get some trousers on and I shall start unpacking the debris of my life. Watch it. No, not those. I'm going to get those dirty, I need. Who did that?
There must be a virus in the wardrobe.
Good morning, Sally. I hope you slept well.
So, Mrs. Feldman, you?
Like a dead person.
Pete, she's here, Mrs. Feldman.
She's doing one of her celebrated bedspread impressions.
You still can't see or hear her.
No, Sally, it's funny that, isn't it?
He wears this to bed.
Oh, I think it's quite sexy.
What is?
Pneumonia? That's not so sexy.
Oh, Sally, you're just overstretched. The people who can help, my little electrician.
Pete, I think you should...
Sally, if it was Errol Flynn prancing around in his unmentionables, it wouldn't bring the colour back to my cheeks.
Oh, Mrs. Feldman.
Oh, that's it. The joke's over. I'm going to the garden. I'm going to commune with living things.
Tell him to dress warmly. Could catch his death.
Dress warmly, you could catch your death.
I've lost my job. My wife's lost her marbles.
Vetch. He's always so moody in the mornings.
Only when he... Mrs. Feldman, we would appreciate a little privacy.
Sally, you only have to ask. You know, Sally, my daughter Carol would be about your age now. 40. What did I do to drive her away so many years ago? Am I so difficult to live with?
Well, Oh, that's my mother. I know her ring.
Every daughter ought to have a mother. Pick it up. Tell her I'm looking after you.
What's Daddy doing in the garden, Sammy?
Probably digging an escape tunnel. I suppose Mum will want us to tidy up this veruca today. Tedious.
I want to play with Mrs. Feldman.
You are making up all this ghost stuff, all of you, just to give me zits.
Tell me stories in my bedroom.
David, ghosts don't tell stories, they're in them.
Well, mine does, and she always a lot.
She walks a lot.
Always. Oi, oi, oi.
David, if you do not admit that you're making all this up, I'll bury Eric in the garden.
I'm not making it up. You okay, Rick? Oi, oi, oi.
Anyway, get the bucket, will you? Thanks. Little old hacienda, eh? Place a Rottweiler like you could really defend to the death. Now listen anyway, don't laugh. But your mistress thinks we're haunted. Yep. The curse of the three-bedroom semi. No. She has been under a lot of strain. I'm scared to fix that window.
Weaver, did you sleep well? Mr. Kaufman, I hope I didn't wake you. Miss Gold?
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Have you heard the news? There's been a hurricane.
Yeah, in the Caribbean.
Caribbean today, Willesden tomorrow. I hope you're settling in. I'm Herbert Bloom.
Peter Roakby, this is Hemingway. How are you?
Arthritic, hypertensive, and a martyr to flatulence. Still mustn't grumble. Hey, Mrs. Gold?
Who are you talking to?
All my friends. Every time I lose a friend, I plant something. I've a lovely garden, Mr. Roakby, but sadly, not so many friends. Oh, by the way, they found a rat as big as a dog at number 42.
Steady, boy. So, who's that?
Mr. and Mrs. Hirsch. They did everything together. And that's Mr. Rubinstein.
You don't know.
Yes, Mr. Roakby?
No. It's ridiculous.
Isn't everything?
You didn't know Mrs. Feldman? No, of course.
Yetta Feldman? Oh, did I know Yetta Feldman? Who didn't? The Pope, perhaps. Then.
And she used to live round here?
You could say she still does, Mr. Roakby.
Pete, are you out there?
She had a mouth even rigor mortis wouldn't shut. But you've met her.
No, but I think my wife might have had the pleasure.
You're reading a novel in that shed.
Very careful, Mr. Roakby. Yetta's a very possessive woman. Her daughter only just got away from her in time.
You've seen her, have you?
Pete, my mother's coming for tea.
There's been cholera in India. Best to boil your water.
Yes, I'd better. You must pop round.
Oh, let me just show you my Mrs. Feldman.
Your Mrs. Feldman?
Mother-in-law's tongue. Forever.
Well, I think your father's gone into hiding.
Have you two had a row? Will I be the product of a broken home?
For the last time, Daddy and I do not intend to split up just so that you won't feel out of it at school. Now work! Grandma is about to descend.
Well, won't she be impressed? Which grandpa is she bringing today?
Now that's not fair. She only marries them one at a time. So far. Some of these stains are as stubborn as you are.
Mom, cool it. You're not even being paid. Hey, how's Dad going to pay for my new 501s if he hasn't got a job?
Ah, yes, well, we've been worrying about that too. Tammy, freelance advertising writers are in great demand. You'll see.
And can we sell this office and move back home?
We can't leave Mrs. Feldman, Mummy.
Don't you worry about Mrs. Feldman.
It's 9 o'clock. I'm radio tedious. Let's start some old dead people. Terrific.
I found these in the garden.
Who's buried there?
Oh, Pete, they're lovely. Can't stop, Mummy.
Oh, yes. Mother Superior. Any danger of having any breakfast? Hey, David?
You were going to fry out one of your famous coronary specials.
You're right. The old stover.
Where did you get to?
I met our new old neighbour. Sally, I think we've got to talk about...
Sally, is your husband doing what I think he's doing?
Mrs. Feldman.
Shh! Why do you think I'm whispering?
Cooking bacon in a Jewish house. You want to kill me?
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Pete, Mrs. Feldman doesn't like the bacon.
Well, Mrs. Feldman needn't have any. Sally, where is she?
Hello?
I thought you said there wasn't a ghost.
Well, I'm prepared to admit there might be a little one.
Ah, so I'm not.
David, would you go and tidy your room?
Are you going to tell me another story, Mrs. Feldman?
Oi, I could bite lumps out of him. It's an expression.
What are these stories? The little tin solicitor, Snow White and the 7 dermatologists?
Pete, David likes stories.
Who have we got here? Hans Jewish Anderson? But who keeps turning his flaming cooker off? Right. I need 5 minutes quality thinking time and then we act. And stop rubbing that lamp. We don't need a genie as well.
Such anger from nowhere. Sally, you want me to teach you how to make potato latkes?
Oh, Mrs. Feldman, what are we going to do with you?
Just treat me like your own dear mother.
And then I wrote, ha ha, he, Elizabeth laughs at gum disease. Thank you. And I wonder if you remember, darling, I could kiss you. You bought Telfer's toilet tissue. Thank you.
How can you play your greatest hits when I've got my mother coming round any minute?
It's the best way I know to relax, apart from, favorite dish, white dish. Sally, she's got to go.
My mother?
That's a nice thought, but no. The mummy from beyond the grave. She's brainwashing my son. She watches me in my underpants.
So you accept she exists?
It's growing on me, like shingles. I want her out of here, pronto. Call Dial-a-Hearse.
She's an old woman. I think she's lonely.
Oh, well, let's find her a little Jewish gentleman ghost. Sally, she's like everything else around this mausoleum, something we've got to get fixed.
No, when did you last fix anything? Hang on, I'll get my spirit level. That was rather good.
Sally, call her up or summon her down. I want you to talk to her.
Pete, can't we do it later? Mummy's coming and... Oh, look!
Well, all the more reason for our dearly departed to dearly depart. Just call Mrs. Feldman, Sally.
Did someone call me?
Pete, she's here.
OK, Mrs. Feldman.
Well, there.
My Carol used to play the piano, even the black notes.
Mrs. Feldman, this house isn't big enough for the three of us.
You're leaving so soon, you only just got here.
I want you out of here as soon as inhumanly possible. Don't bother to pack.
What, you throw a poor old deceased lady out of her own home?
Yes, I would. What? Who said that?
I did. Cooey! Over here, mister with the loud voice.
I heard that too. I can hear her. Sally, I can hear Mrs. Feldman. This is incredible.
That's because you believe in her, Pete.
Yeah, I do. I believe. And I believe she should bloody well go back where she came from. Valhalla, the other side, Limbo.
Limbo? Peter, you ever been to Limbo? Bournemouth it isn't. It's cold, it's damp, and as for the people, there's no life to them. To tell you the truth, I'd rather be in Willesden.
Well, I've just declared that a ghost-free area.
You're not someone that doesn't like Jewish people.
He's certainly not, Mrs. Feldman.
I just wouldn't want my daughter to be haunted by one. I'm talking to a ghost. Please, leave us be, eh? Just give my love to Attila the Hun.
Sally, you're letting him... After we're getting on so famously.
Well,
Sally?
It's my house! My poor Sam had his heart attack in this room. My Carol walked out through that door. I even choked to death on a chicken bone in that kitchen. It's memories like these that make a house a home.
Pete, she seems harmless.
Yes, we could have had one of those fire-breathing ghosts like they got at 92. If she won't leave, we'll have to freeze her out. If we ignore her, she can't exist. That's worth a try, starting from now.
I should have told your son the story of the wandering Jew.
Mrs. Feldman...
Sally, she's in Coventry.
Who lives in Coventry? Sally.
Pete...
Not a word. She doesn't exist.
Did I tell you about my Carol's lovely teeth?
Pete, she's fading.
Goodbye, Mrs. Feldman. Have a nice trip.
How does he think I'm going? British Airways? Goodbye, Sally. Goodbye, home.
Pete, she's gone. You've got rid of her.
It's for the best, Sal. And I'll explain to David later. Hey, do you think this will work on your mum?